Working of paperless court. India has a multi-level court system. There has been a high backlog of cases in Indian courts over the years as a result of the court's growing workload. A significant portion of the delay is attributed to the cumbersome paperwork that makes up the foundation of the court system. As the years pass, the case file accumulates with the petitions, memos, documents and their copies, citations of case laws, etc., making it increasingly difficult to organize and requires more manpower and storage space. Moreover, the handwritten order sheets and depositions fade away with passage of time, making them illegible and hard to decipher. An innovative concept of paperless courts has been envisioned and tested in the apex court and different high courts to address these issues and to provide speedy justice. In a traditional court, case information is available to a judge through a case information system. A paperless court, as the name suggests, is a court that functions without the physical records, where judges rely on digitized court records and use technology for facilitating the court proceedings. A paperless court strives to modernize the work process of the judiciary by eliminating the need for physical records and the inherent liabilities associated with the storage congestion, risk of misplacing and retrieving documents. In a paperless court, the entire case record is available to a judge in a portable device, making it convenient to access the relevant part of the record without browsing through the entire file, thereby saving time and making the workflow more efficient. It also reduces work pressure on court staff from organizing the record chronologically. The process of digitization involves sending of case records as per cause list, pre-scanning procedure, scanning of case records, quality check of scanned pages, metadata entry, bookmarking of scanned pages under different heads for easy access, and finally, the integration of the scanned records with the cause list. The courts in Odisha have adopted e-filing 3.0. The litigants and advocates can file the cases through e-filing 3.0 and the said cases shall be directly consumed by the courts, thereby obviating the need of physical filing. The e-filing module has integrated the payment of e-court fees, which is not only economical but also environment friendly. The pre-trial procedures can be accelerated by utilizing the aforesaid paperless modes. During trial, the depositions of the witnesses can be recorded in paperless mode and their signatures can be obtained digitally, obviating the requirement of paper depositions. In paperless courts, it is very convenient for judges to have easy access to the bulky case records which are segregated in different parts and the relevant portions are available.
The Discharge Conference 2023 was inaugurated in the auditorium of Odisha Judicial Academy at Cuttack on 11th February 2023 by Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, in the presence of Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, the Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha. Another program on 19th February 2023 was done by the employees of the High Court of Odisha. A colorful cultural program as a part of celebration of the 75th year of the High Court of Odisha was done. On 20th February 2023, e-libraries for the Bar Association of 24 outlying stations of Odisha was inaugurated by Justice K.M. Joseph, Judge Supreme Court of India, in virtual mode. Further, on 25th February 2023, the refurbished Museum of Justice inside the Barwati Killa Cuttack was inaugurated by Professor Ganeshi Lal, Governor of Odisha, in presence of Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice and judges of the High Court of Odisha. On 10th March 2023, the refurbished Museum of Justice was set up by the High Court of Odisha, was opened for public, and the consultative committee members who had played a vital role who had played a vital role in shaping the museum, were felicitated. On 27th March 2023, inauguration of virtual centers of the High Court in 10 districts of Odisha was done. On 27th March 2023, the virtual centers for High Court were inaugurated by Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar in 10 districts, namely Angul, Dhenkanal, Jagatsinghpur, Jajpur, Keonjhar, Kendrapada, Kandhamal at Fulbani, Mayurbhanj, Nayagad and Sundargarh. On 29th March 2023, free Wi-Fi facility and e-inspection facility for the members of the High Court Bar Association was launched. On 30th March 2023, as a part of the 75th year of the High Court of Odisha, the new High Court guest house at Puri was inaugurated by Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, in presence of the companion judges of the High Court of Odisha. On 31st March 2023, the first of its kind, the members of the legal assistants who had completed 30 years in their profession were all felicitated, and a welfare stamp for the association was also released. On 1st April 2023, 40 hours mediation training workshop for the advocates of Western Odisha was carried out. Celebrating the 75th year of its establishment, the High Court of Odisha has been holding several programs throughout the year. As a part of that celebration, the High Court felicitated its former Chief Justices, judges in a function held in the Jawaharlal Nehru Indoor Stadium, Cuttack on 8th April 2023, being presided over by Justice B.R. Gawai, Judge Supreme Court of India, in the presence of Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice High Court of Odisha, and companion judges of the High Court of Odisha. The function was held to acknowledge the contribution of all the former Chief Justices and judges of the High Court of Odisha in the successful journey of the glorious 75 years of the High Court of Odisha. The Advocate General, Mr. Ashok Kumar Parija, the President of High Court Bar Association, Mr. Dharanidhara Naik, the members of the Bar Association, government officials, and the High Court employees had attended the function. Another first of its kind, a state-level law quiz 2023 was held for law students. The High Court of Odisha organized the first ever state-level law quiz for the law students of Odisha in collaboration with an expert organization, Q Shala. The quiz had 4 zonal rounds and the grand finale. To ensure participation of law students from all the districts, the state was divided into 4 zones: Sambalpur, Barampur, Bhubaneswar and Cuttack. The zonal round was held on 7th April 2023, 9th April 2023, 14th April 2023 and 15th April 2023. The grand finale was held on 15th April 2023 at the State Judicial Academy, Odisha Judicial Academy. Students and teachers of various law colleges and universities witnessed the final competition. The questions asked in the quiz were on the topics of law, politics, social studies from the lens of history, culture, music, movies, art and technology. During the first phase, steps were initiated by State Legal Services Authority to establish Legal Aid Defense Council, and in its first of its kind, offices of Legal Aid Defense Council were also launched on 26th April 2023. Further, as a part of 75th year of the High Court of Odisha, the Lawyers' Day was observed in a special way on 28th April 2023 in a function organized at the State Judicial Academy. Lawyers' Day is observed every year by the Legal Fraternity of Odisha, commemorating the birth anniversary of Utkala Gaurava Madhusudan Das. And coincidentally, this was the 175th birth anniversary of the Doyen, when the High Court is celebrating its 75th year. 29 senior lawyers of the High Court Bar Association, who had completed 50 years in legal profession, along with former and present Advocate Generals of Odisha, were all felicitated. Also, 18 district court lawyers who had been adjudged Lawyers of the Year were also felicitated in the function, presided over by Justice Deepak Mishra, former Chief Justice of India, in the presence of Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, and Honorable Judges of the High Court of Odisha. Arvind P. Datta, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India, was the Chief Speaker in the said function. Further, a first of its kind, a national conference on digitization, paperless courts and e-initiatives were held for 2 days in the State Judicial Academy on 6th and 7th May 2023. The same was attended by Dr. Justice Dhananjay Yashwant Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, in the presence of Rajesh Vindal, Judge Supreme Court of India, and the august presence of our honorable judges. All the high courts of the country and central project coordinators of throughout India visited the said National Conference on Digitization and shared their story of digitization which their high courts have been following. On 10th May 2023, 1 year of Center for Judicial Archives was celebrated in the State Judicial Academy, wherein Dr. Prabhu Prasad Mahapatra, Professor of History, Delhi University, was the chief guest of the function and spoke on the various topics as to how archiving is important, how preserving history is important. On 28th June 2023, Honorable Shri Justice S.K. Panigrahi, Judge, High Court of Odisha, and Administrative Judge of Koraput Judgeship, inaugurated the 40 hours mediation workshop for the advocates in presence of Honorable Ms. Justice Sabitri Ratha and Honorable Shri Justice Muganga Sekhar Shahu, the judges of the High Court of Odisha and members of the Mediation Monitoring Committee. 24 advocates from the Judgeship of Koraput, Malkangiri, Nabarangpur, Rayagada and Kalahandi underwent the said training. Another first of its kind, a state-level law quiz for judicial officers was held, celebrating the 75th year of the establishment of the High Court of Odisha. The High Court of Odisha organized the first ever state-level law quiz for judicial officers. The said was organized in 3 phases. The first phase conducted 2 preliminary rounds, 6 zonal rounds. The quiz was organized by Q Shala. There were 2 online preliminary rounds, common to all the 30 districts, on 11th June 2023, where around 432 judicial officers of various cadres participated individually. The top 3 winners of each district formed a group, and thereafter the final was taken place in the State Judicial Academy in the presence of Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, and Honorable Judges of the High Court of Odisha. The questions asked in the quiz were on the topics of law, politics, and social studies from the lens of history, culture, music, movies, and technology. On 3rd July 2023, there were 50 paperless courts which were inaugurated. The said paperless courts were in 23 districts of Odisha and were inaugurated in virtual mode by the Chief Justice, in presence of Justice Subhashish Talapatra, Chairman, Artificial Intelligence and Information Technology Committee of the High Court of Odisha. Members of the Artificial Intelligence and Information Technology Committee and the judges of the High Court of Odisha also graced the said function. Another first of its kind, a National Conference on Judicial History and Archiving also took place. Archiving and the conference was organized by the High Court of Odisha in the State Judicial Academy, Cuttack, on 15th and 16th July 2023. The importance of archiving the judicial records in the was the focal point of the conference. Eminent historians and scholars from across the country and students of various educational institutions participated in the said conference. The conference was inaugurated on 14th July 2023 by Justice Shripati Ravindra Bhatt, Judge Supreme Court of India, in the presence of Professor Partha Chatterjee, Professor Emeritus of Anthropology and Middle Eastern, South Asian and African Studies. The event was graced by Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, and a book titled Judicial History of Odisha, Volume 1 was also released on the said occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing to the beginning of the function of the valedictory ceremony. I would once again request all the dignitaries and all the audience presented to kindly keep their mobile phones on silent or aeroplane mode. Thank you.